If you're looking to build a brand new website from scratch, I'm going to show you how to do just that using Wix. Let's jump in. So we're just going to head over to Wix.com, and I'll also put a link in the description so you can just click on that and access the website through there and be able to set up a new account. And it's going to take you to a page much like this. And you have two options. If you already have an account, you can log in here or click Get Started. And we're going to do this. We're going to create a brand new account just so you can see how this process works as well. And once you put in your sign-in credentials, you will see a screen like this. And it's going to ask you a few questions to get you started. Answer these questions based on your needs. And it's really just to start shaping what you're going to see on the interface. And one of the new things they have, like with a lot of companies, is they're utilizing AI to help you craft your website. And so you can start this here. And I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to create this for a book club that I'm going to be starting, just as an example. All right, so I put, to connect with the community of fellow book lovers to join our weekly book club, share ideas and topic points, as well as offer book reviews and insights. And give you another question, which is, what is the name of your book club or community? Okay, we'll just call the club Book Buddies. And then you can see as we're getting into this, it's starting to create a profile over here on the side. So I just put everyone who loves to read and discuss in a virtual environment. And obviously these questions will be very different for you depending on what you're setting this up like. All right. And so with that, it says you're all set. Now we've got your dashboard and all ready. So we're going to go to dashboard. Now, again, this is fully customizable. Once you get into this, this is sort of just if you're setting up your account for the first time, it's going to walk you through some of these questions just to kind of help you get started. So with the free version, it will allow you to create the website and even publish it. There will be Wix ads that are going to be embedded into the website that way, but it's totally can be up and running. Now, if you upgrade to the business plans, it'll allow you to accept payments and bookings. It'll also give you a custom domain. So it would be .yourname.com or whatever you want your website to be called. So we're just going to leave it at the free version for now because it gives you all of the ability to build the website for what we're doing here. So we're just going to close that out. So we're going to skip this for now. Again, once you upgrade your account, you can always get that domain for a year. The domain will cost you a yearly renewal fee, but it'll give you the first year. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to go to design the site. And here you have a couple of different options. So you can generate a design with AI, get a personalized design in seconds, or you can pick to customize a template. That's what we're going to do today is we're going to pick a template. And in my opinion, Wix has a really great library and very diverse library of different templates, which is a great place to start, especially if you've never designed a website before. Depending on what your business or what your purpose of your website is, it gives you a lot of different options for that. You can see these are just some of the most popular ones, but you could really cater into, oh, you have a business, finances, law, health, hotels, fashion. They have different stores, which again, that is part of the premium feature to be able to accept payment. Creative, if you want to showcase your work, film and video, portfolio, singer, musician, communities, nonprofits, weddings, all of these sorts of things. And then they also have up here search. So I'm going to search for book club, and you can see this comes up with several different templates based on book clubs. And they have, if you're a writer, if you're a library, a bookstore, best-selling author, right? And we have one right here, which is club. So what you can do is when you hover over top of it, you can view it, which is going to bring it up in here. It lets you see what the website looks like. And you can also see it from a desktop view or from a mobile view, which I think is very important to kind of look at both versions of that so that you know how it's going to look on your phone. A lot of people are looking at websites on their phone, so you want to make sure that that looks good. And all of these website templates are adaptable so that once you build it for desktop or mobile, it will reformat it based on which device people are looking at the website. So you can see that both ways. And I'll show you more in that when we get into the editing portion of it. All right. And then you can go back to the templates. Let's say, no, that's not quite the one that I want. I think more of a book blog is going to be kind of the route that we're going to go here. Okay. So you can see, I like that look. And we go, let's edit this site. And then once you click edit this site, it's going to start putting this together so that you can start creating the website as you want it to be. Once it gets everything loaded up, it's going to take you to the website editor. And this is where you're going to make all the changes to your website. And so I'm going to walk you through a couple of the elements that you're going to see in here so that you can navigate around in here. Over on the left-hand side, you're going to see the couple of the menus here. So at the top, you see Add Elements. We're just going to click on this. And this is all of the different types of elements that you want to add, that you can add to your website. So text, images, buttons, strips. I mean, there's just tons and tons and tons of pieces, parts in here. And this is what makes up the website. Links, videos, contact forms, all of this. This is kind of the go-to base for all of the elements that you're going to add. Then below that, you'll see Add Sections. So when you're looking at the website, each part of the website, as you scroll down through there, is a different section, okay? So there's like a welcome section, the about, the team, and these are kind of pre-built sort of layouts for the section that all of your elements will go into. So you can see you scroll down through here, you have your bottom section, you have, like this section here is for subscribing. So each of these are sections, and these are all movable. So once you kind of create all the elements that you put into a section, you can move that to the top or move it to the bottom of the website and it'll react accordingly. And then you have pages, and the pages are the other screens of your website. So you have your home page, there's the review, there's the about section, contact. These are the ones that are already built into the template that we selected. We can add more or we can remove some of these, but these are sort of the initial suggestions. Then down below that, we have the site design. And this is how you change the overall pieces, parts of the website. So you can change the color scheme, you can change the text theme. And when you make the changes here, it changes everything in the website. The background page, all of that. Down below that, you'll see the Wix app market. These are additions that you can add. This is like the stores or the calendars, the social media feeds. These are kind of additives that are available to you. You don't have to use. Some cost money, some are free, some are integrated with other apps you may already have. That's where you'll find all of those. Below that, we have My Business, which if your page is designed for a business, there's some elements here that you could utilize to add into there. You have like your events, you have some groups that you could have people join. Some of this is what we would utilize for a book club. Members area, if people sign up and they can go into, again, this would be something that we would use for this type of website. Again, these are options if you want to be able to add those. Down below that, this is media. And this is both media that's already on your website. You can see your site files. These are ones that are already in there. And Wix images that are sort of their own library of images that you can add and put in there, as well as your own images. So you can, when you upload your own pictures, your own videos, your own elements, you'll find all of those there that you can then add as necessary. And then finally below this is your CMS, which is your customer management system that Wix has built into there, so you can kind of track where people are coming and going and that sort of thing. But this is kind of the main thing. You're going to be using the elements, your sections, your pages. This is where you can make all of those things what you want them to be. And then up here, this is how you'll navigate within the editor to your different pages. So right now we're on the home page. And then let's say we want to go to the review page, and you'll drop that down and it'll take you to the review page. Okay. And then just like when we were previewing the templates, up here you can switch between the desktop editor and the mobile editors. And again, it's totally adaptable. So once you make changes on the desktop, it'll also make those on the mobile, but just the formatting of that is obviously going to change because the screen is different. So I'll switch over here. There's a couple of unique tools within the mobile version. And so really, I think it's up to you, depending on if you expect more people to be using your mobile or your desktop. You may want to work in that editor primarily, but just know the changes will be made on both. And I always recommend, preview both versions so that you know exactly what it's looking like. Okay. So you can see here, you scroll through your mobile version and you can see this looks just like your website, just in the mobile kind of version of that. And then over here, same thing. We have all the different elements that you can add: text, images, buttons. Down here, we have the different pages that you can add, just like we had before. This is different, so you can add a mobile background. So you may want a different photo or a different image or color or something for the mobile version versus the desktop. And then this little wrench here gives you mobile tools specifically, okay? The top one here is the quick action button. So that's down here at the bottom. That, again, only comes up on the mobile device so that people can be able to call you directly because they're already on their mobile, or email you. And you can customize that to whatever you want that to be. There's also the back to top button, which again is something unique for mobile. If people scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, this button will pop up that they can just click on that and it'll take them back up to the top. So we're just going to go back to the desktop version to give you a little clearer view. And then over in the top right-hand corner, you can see we have save, preview, and publish. I'm going to talk about all three of these together. Publish means it's taking everything that you see on this website as you've edited it and published it online so that anybody that has your domain, if they type that in, it will take them to exactly what you published. Now, in contrast to that is save. You can save any changes that you make to the website, and those will not be public until you hit publish. So you can make changes, and maybe there's an update that you're rolling out or a new section, or you're, playing around with different elements to see what you want to do. And you can save that and you can come back to it later and you can keep it there as long as you want. But until you hit publish, it will not be public. So those are kind of the two distinctions. Always save your work so that you don't lose any of the things that you've done, and the autosave, you don't have to worry about that. But once you know that it's the way you want it, then you can publish, okay? And then in the middle is preview. And what this does is right now we're looking at the website in the editor. If I click on preview, it's going to show me exactly what the website looks like online. This is not for public view. This is just for you to review. So you can see up here, it says you are now in preview mode. This is just sort of a little disclaimer to show that this is not what everybody else is seeing necessarily. This is what I'm seeing. You see there's a little animation here going on in the background, so you get a preview of that. It shows you exactly what everything looks like. You see all the lines have been removed that were kind of guidelines. Once you preview it and you've seen it exactly and you're like, this is good, I want this to go live, then you can either hit the publish from this screen or from the editor. But when you hit publish, you'll see a box that'll pop up and say, congratulations, your site is now live online. And again, if you do that by mistake, you can always revert to an earlier draft of your page and publish that one if for some reason that's a mistake. And you can see this is because we don't have a unique domain connected. This is the domain that is there. And you click on view and it'll take you to that as well. All right, so let's make some changes to this website. Now that we know how everything's laid out, let me show you how to make some changes. So first and foremost, when you first grab a template, what I would suggest doing is figuring out how you want to modify that for what you need. So first, we're going to do that by the pages. So we're going to go to the pages, and this is going to show you all the pages that they have built in there. And all of these are accessible to the public. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through here and kind of make some changes. So let's say the events, I don't want that to be part of that, so we hide that from the menu. And what that does is that page still exists in the editor that we can make changes to. So maybe it's something that you might want to roll out later, or you want to make changes to and have that be an element later. You could just hide that. Now we have the file share page. I don't want that at all. So I'm just going to go delete. And so that takes that totally off because that's not one that I want to have part of the website. Now we go back to the pages and we go, okay, contact and about, review, all of that looks good. Now, the other thing that you're seeing here is these here are sub pages to the home page. So those are, you can click on that and navigate to that as another page, but it's another section within that home page. It's not a separate layout that you're going to. You could change the order. Maybe you want the review to be down towards the bottom and you want the about to be up at the top, those sorts of things, okay? And then you see here, we can also add pages here as well, okay? And next what I'm going to do is we're going to look at the sections, how this is all sort of laid out. So you go into the sections, and what we can do is when you hover over top of this, maybe I don't want this donation form to be right at the top. So you can click the down arrow and it'll move it down the page into a new section. Again, so it keeps all of that layout the same. It's simply moving it further down the page. So now what comes up first is this join the conversation. Okay. And then maybe I want to add a welcome section. So I'm just going to click and drag that to the very top. We're going to add this welcome section. And so that's how you add sections. And you can also delete those. So from here, we can move that down or we can move that up and you can create a section that way. So now that we have the section added, now let's make some adjustments to that. So this welcome, we're going to double click on that and let's make it a little more informal. And we'll go, hello, book lovers. Okay. And then I want to change this section here, and we're just going to write up some text. Now, as you can see over here, you can also change any of the effects of it, all of this editable. Now, maybe I want to change the background to this, okay? So we're going to click on the background and click change background. And so you could do a couple of things. You could change it to a color if you just want to no image, right? So we could change it to a color or a gradient or a fluid gradient, right? Or you can change to an image. And when you click on that, it'll take you to media from Wix that they already have preloaded into there. Or you can upload your own media. So if you have a picture on your computer that you want to use for that, you can do that. I'm going to use just something that's already in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to search books, see what comes up here. And these are all backgrounds. So, okay, so you can see they're just sort of nice, kind of even keel images. I like this look of the library. And we're going to change background. And so when we do that, it just swaps that picture out. And there you go. And then if you go now, you want to see what that looks like, you just click on preview and you can see now that's how that looks. We have joined the conversation. We have this form. We move down to the bottom. And again, all of this is saved, but it's not published yet. This is not how it looks if you were to go to this website. This is just what it looks like for me. And then we can go over here. We can see what it looks like on the mobile, make sure everything is laid out the way that it should be. And there you go. And you can see how this box is formatted just a little bit different where you don't see as much of the background. So that's an important distinction to go, okay, maybe this image doesn't work for mobile, so I want to swap that out, but that would be entirely up to you. So we're just going to head back over to the desktop view and go back to the editor. So, and then let's say we want to add another section and we'll just go up here. We'll add a team section here. So we'll just take this again, we'll drag it right into there. And let's say you didn't want it be put there. So let me just move that one down. And then again, same rules apply. You can now make the adjustments that you need. Maybe I'm the art director, so I'm just gonna select that. We're gonna change the image. So we're gonna upload media. We're gonna go upload from computer and we just navigate to where we want. Let's say we want, here's a studious picture of me. We'll add this. And so once you upload the media, it goes into this site files library here. And from here, what you want to do is you could create a subfolder to go my photos, just to keep it organized so you know where to find the photos. And then this is accessible anytime that you need to add new photos. So we're going to take that. And then when you click on the picture, let's edit the photo itself. So we go edit and crop. And let's just bring in those sides just to make more of a square and save. That photo is ready to be put onto the website and we don't have to worry about anything else about it. All right, and then we just click on that and we go choose image and you can see I'm now swapped out. We go, now we can make this my name. So we'll just double click on that. And there you go. Now I'm part of the team. And you just continue to move through the page and customize each of those sections. And then you can go on to the next section and go to let's say the contact page. Once you're in here, you can, add your address that you meet. You could just go through and systematically customize all of that. And once you have all of the information that you want within the website, the next step is going to be to change or adjust the overall theme of the website. And these are the changes that affect all of the elements. So what I like to do is add all the elements that I want in there. So all the images, changing all the text, adding the sections, adding the pages, and then I want to make the adjustments to the overall theme. Okay, so then I'm going to go over here and go to site design, and next you'll see change theme. So we're just going to click on that. And this is what our current theme is, but let's just scroll down through here and let's say, ooh, I like this warm look. So we click on this and you can see that adjusts all of the themes. The fonts changed, the colors changed. You can see everything is now a little different. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you go to fashionable. So you click on that theme. And again, it takes a moment and then everything changes to that. You can see the button colors are different, right? So you just pick out creamy. Maybe I want that. There we go. Got some dark greens in there. And again, that applies to all of the pages, mobile and desktop. And then you can go down and make even detailed changes. You can go to the color theme. You could pick out your own colors. You could go to the text theme, pick out your own text for headlines, for paragraph, and you can customize it as much as you want. In my opinion, I find, because I'm not a color theorist or a designer, I like to just use their pre-built designs, themes, and you can scroll through and find the one that best fits your company or your brand, your personality, and you get that adjusted. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to preview so that I can see exactly what it looks like on the website. And you can go through here and you can look at all the pages just like they will exist. Then you want to go to the mobile version, see how that shows up on the mobile. And you can go, I like the way that looks on mobile. And then once you have that the way you want it, then you click publish. That is now live on the website. If you go to this web address, that's exactly what's going to be seen. And you click done. And with that, you have your first website built and published through Wix. And again, I'll include a link in the description so you can be able to click on there and you can upgrade to your premium account so that you can get your own domain name linked to your account and also be able to remove some of the Wix ads that are embedded in there with the free version. So I hope you found this video helpful and I will see you in the next one.